Welcome to trigonometry. So let's go over some vocab first to make sure you guys know what the heck I'm talking about when I speak. Here, we're going to have some word problems. Trigonometry is the basis of all sorts of building, structure, architecture, engineering, sun shadows that construction companies deal with, bridges, you name it, tide, the earth pulling, the moon pulling the tide. It's everywhere. I mean, you guys know math is everywhere. You don't see it, but it's everywhere. It's, your house is standing or your home is standing and not crumble to the ground because of math. So let's take a look at some of this vocab. So when we're doing some word problems later, you have some idea what the heck's going on. So anytime you have a flat, totally horizontal place, and let's say there's a person, an observer up here looking down at a ship, down at a boat, down at something, down at their kid on the ground, crawling around, the angle between the horizontal and wherever that thing, person, the object is called the angle of depression, because we know when you're depressed, you're down. And the angle of elevation, when you're down here looking at a bird, a plane, the top of a tower, the top of a building, the top of a tree, someone on a balcony, all these word problems, from where you are, the horizontal and up to that object, that angle is called the angle of elevation, because you take an elevator to go up. Okay, so the angle of depression is horizontal down, and angle of elevation is horizontal up. Now, interestingly enough, bringing the angle of depression and the angle of elevation together in one diagram, right, if we put this over this, we get that from an horizontal down is depression, and from the horizontal up is elevation. So I just want you to notice that Z pattern, because we're going to use it later on, and now you know why we went over the Z pattern stuff first, the PLT, parallel line theorem Z pattern. Okay, next I want to go over this vocabulary, which is opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. So in everyday English, we use the word opposite. The opposite is on the other side. Black, white, what you consider right to what you consider wrong. All of that sort of stuff. You're sitting on this side of the table and you're looking opposite at the person on the other side of the table. The word adjacent is just a fancy word for saying something is beside something else. So again, if you're sitting at a table and you're here, this person is adjacent to you and this person is opposite you. That's it. This is you, this person is adjacent, this person is opposite. Alrighty? Now, when we use opposite and adjacent in trigonometry, or any kind of a geometry, we know that we always, 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 always start with the angle. I want you to write in big, bold letters in your notes, start with the angle. If you need to put a yellow sticky on your notes, if you need to, so that you can move it to the top of your homework every time you're doing this homework, you always start with the angle. So that's important, because if we start with this angle here, theta, this side is opposite and this side is adjacent to theta. However, if we put theta up here, like it is here, this side is no longer opposite. This side is now opposite this angle, and this side is adjacent to this angle. The side is determined as adjacent or opposite always by starting with the angle and then seeing what's opposite and what's adjacent. So the hypotenuse is always going to be the side that is opposite the right angle. Opposite the right angle. okay? So there's some vocab for you there.